Hey everybody, it's great to see you. This is the notes on percent change. There's a couple of things I'm going to go over first, okay? Do you see that word percent up there? What I'm going to do is show you what the symbol for percent looks like, and I know that most of you know this, and I'm not sure why I'm writing in a highlighter right now, but I will fix that. Percent is a circle, slash, and another circle, so you know that. But how many of you know the symbol for the word change? So I'm going to go ahead and put an equal sign here, and I'm going to try my best to write a beautiful triangle. It didn't work out too well, but you know what I mean. This is a triangle, and a triangle means change. So if you ever see a percent mark with a triangle right next to it, that means we're going to do some percent change, okay? The definition of percent change is the percent that a value goes up, increases, or goes down, decreases. All right, so that's our definition. And we're going to show you how the formulas work first, or how the formula works first. Then we'll go to some examples. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to find the biggest number in the problem. All right, and you're going to put the big number first. Then you're going to find the smallest number in the problem, and you're going to subtract the smallest number. I always start big with an uppercase B, just to remind me that I need the big number minus the small number. Then you're going to divide that difference by the original number. And original number means whichever number came first in the problem. So if I said yesterday I had 10 dry erase markers and today I have 2 dry erase markers, then the original number, which happened first in time yesterday, was 10. So that's how you figure out original, what happened first in time. Then you have to convert your answer to a percent. And as we've talked about, and just a little review, to change any number to a percent. As long as it does not have a percent sign, you can change any number in any form to a percent by multiplying by 100. And that will make any number a percent, as long as it's not already one. All right? So that brings us to the formula. Okay, and there are really 2 ways to write this, but I'm going to show you the one I like. Okay, so let me write that down here. This is going to be the formula. This will not be given to you on a formula sheet, so it's something that you might want to practice. So how I do it is I do it this way. I write a big B for the biggest number and an S for the smallest number. That's subtracting. Then I divide it by the OG, which is the original number. And then I multiply that by 100 to give me the percent change. All right, so let's look at that one more time. We're going to take big minus small. We're going to divide that whole difference by the original number, whatever came first in time, then multiply it by 100 to make it a percent. And that will give you your percent change. Okay? I think this will make a little bit more sense once we look at an example. So let's try that. Example number 1. Last week, Zoe worked 20 hours. Last week. That happened first. This week, Zoe worked 15 hours. What is the percent decrease in the number of hours that Zoe worked? Well, in this question, they don't want us to use the formula. They want us to use a model. So let me do that. Well, we know that last week was 20, correct? And we know this week was 15. So to find that difference, we are going to subtract. So I'll come over here. 20 minus 15, why do I use Desmos? Because I don't want to make a mistake, is 5. All right, everybody got that? Now, I'm going to look at this model. There are 20 rectangles there because it's labeled as 20 hours. So out of that 20 hours, let's color in the difference between what she worked last week and this week. So that difference right here is 5. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have colored in 5 out of the total 20. Okay? So we want to know what percent is shaded. Now, a lot of you can look at this and say, well, 20 divides perfectly by 5. So I'm going to show you that way first. Here's the first 5, second 5, third 5, and then the last 5. So every 5 hours is 25% or 1/4 of that model. But you could also say, you know what, I'm going to use my calculator and make sure. They are asking me what percent is shaded. So I know that 5 out of 20 rectangles there in the model are shaded. And I also know that if I multiply anything by 100, it will give me the percent. So I'm going to take 5 divided by 20. I'm going to move my cursor, and I'm going to multiply by 100. And lo and behold, the percent of the shaded area is 25%. Okay? So now let's go ahead and solve it algebraically, which means using the formula, because we want to make sure that it works. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to Desmos, and I'm going to type in my formula. Okay? I'm going to start by making sure I have a fraction bar there. I'm going to type in uppercase B and minus a lowercase s, because we talked about that. That's what we want to do. Then we're going to divide that difference, the big minus small, by the original. So I'm just going to put OG there. Okay? Then we're going to jump up here, and we're going to multiply that by 100 to make sure that we get the correct answer in percentage form. So if I were filling in my numbers here, I'm going to do it over here just so you can see it. The biggest number is 20. The smallest number of the problem is 15. You divide that whole thing by what happened originally, what happened first in time, which is last week, 20. Then you multiply by 100 to make it a percent. So you can actually give values to these and say, you know, B equals S equals, but I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to just go ahead and type in the numbers. So again, I start with that. The biggest number was 20, and I'm going to subtract the smallest number, which was 15, and then I'm going to divide that, the difference, by what came first, the original number. Then, to make it a percent, I just multiply by 100, and my answer is 25%. The key to this is remembering the formula and being able to pull out the information from the word problem. I know you're going to do great.